Hello everyone, in this video today I am going to cover a very important topic, and it's targeted towards certain individuals who are working full-time, have hectic work schedules, and also who have families to look after and spend time with. This group of people, the exam can get quite challenging due to various other commitments and priorities. So I wanted to set up a video where I talk about some of the focus areas, and hopefully if you are in this group and are attempting the CFA exams, hopefully you can find something useful. So let's begin. Basically wanted to cover four topics. Number one, finding the time, which I believe is the hardest to do. Secondly, it's making the most of the time. So once you've actually identified the number of hours you're going to put in, how do you make the most of your studying hours available? Thirdly, it's about keeping a track of your progress, because things can get haywire pretty quickly, and you can feel quite disoriented given the number of readings and rereadings that you have to do. So it's important to keep a track of how you're doing. And fourthly, it's about enjoyment. Enjoy what you're doing, because if you're putting in those hundreds of hours and you're not enjoying yourself, the journey can get quite problematic. Finding the time. Now, this is obviously the most important. If you're working full-time, you have kids at home or family members to take care of, it can be very difficult. You're looking at 300 odd hours per level. That equates to, depending on how many hours you do each day, around about 120 to 150 days. And you can set the best plan of achieving it, but along the way there will be days where you just can't put in the hours or can't stick to the schedule. So one of the most important things in that instance is, when you are planning, to keep buffer days and contingency days when you know that when things do slip, when there is a work assignment or a project that needs to be finished, you have to work late nights or you have to attend to family and days are missed, that you have some sort of a contingency plan to make up for it along the way. Now that's very important. Secondly, what is also important is that you book leave prior to the exams, and usually my recommendation would be 2 to 3 weeks. Obviously the more you get the better, but you really need a strong momentum leading up to the exams, and in the last 2 or 3 weeks you can really put in a solid anywhere between 70 to 100 hours and not feel completely burnt out. It's quite possible. So if you can have those leave days available. One of the other tips is that it's always good to share your plan with people at work as well as your immediate loved ones, and let them know that outside of working hours your main focus is the CFA program, and you're going to be spending a lot of hours studying. So if there is a lot of work that you need to do outside of your normal hours, that may have to take a back seat, and there may have to be other plans worked out in that front, as well as with your family. Obviously it's important, because even though you're putting in these hours, the fact is you're going to be away from your family for a significant period of time. Now, quality time, what do I mean by that? It's quite simple. What I mean by is that you need to identify earlier on what sort of mix are you going for, how much theory versus practice. And my old strategy used to be a lot of theory and practice towards the end, but I think if I was to recommend a better strategy, it would be to practice along the way. That reinforces your learning and helps you memorize a little bit better. It's very difficult to keep reading theory because chances are you will forget it towards the end. So have that balance ready in terms of what you feel is right for you. And also on quality time, think about how you are going to approach the theory. Are you going to look at videos from third-party providers, or are you going to purely read everything from the curriculum? Because if you are asking for biggest bang for buck, then maybe the videos might save you heaps of time and fast track your process of learning. So whatever suits your needs, just be mindful of that if you have got limited capacity and you have to squeeze a number of hours, and what is the optimal strategy that will work for you. Now the third category is basically tracking your progress, and by that I mean You know, the CFA online practice questions in the question bank is fantastic because it's pretty close to exam day, and the questions are all official. Most of them now cover the end of chapter questions as well, so those are included. But importantly, you get an idea of where you're standing in each topic. I was consistently hovering around the 73-74% mark, and that gave me comfort, especially for the PM section of level 3, that my base understanding is good enough. And you know, I was surprised that consistently I was getting that score. It wasn't dropping and it wasn't increasing, and it is very difficult to alter that score towards the end of your preparation. So you want to be aware of where you're at, and if you are behind, then you know, by having regular questions or attempting regular questions, at least you know which areas you're weak in that you can revise and get back to. And if you're already having some really strong areas, then you don't probably need to spend much time on them. So important to keep track of how you're getting along and testing yourself every now and then. And again, it's just a matter of constant practice along the way, especially for the PM section and level 1 and level 2. It's obviously all multi-choice, so that should provide a good indicator. Number 4, enjoyment. Now, you know, it's one of those things. If you were thinking of just wanting to achieve a charter and you know, you will do whatever it takes to get there, chances are you are not going to stay focused and enjoy yourself, because if you're looking at close to 1,000 hours of studying, you've got to enjoy what you're learning. You've got to know the reasons for your entering into the program other than attaining a charter. And at some point you have to really get into full understanding of some of the topics. One of the difficulties that I faced was that in level 1 and level 2, that was the motive. I just need a charter. And I realized quite late on in level 3 that until I actually enjoy what I'm learning and I spend time thinking about these concepts, that I will never get them. And with fixed income especially, you know, the focus for me was to fully understand the details. And once I started enjoying the readings and understanding how everything fits in fixed income and equity, things became quite easy for me. So my you know, suggestion for this would be to enjoy the material and take it as a good opportunity to build your knowledge. And hopefully, if you cover all these 4 topics, you will develop a set of focus and discipline that is required to pass the CFA exams. It's most important, you know, that you are focused and that there is a discipline, a rhythm that you build over your studying journey. And you know, I can guarantee you that if your focus is there and you are quite methodical as far as your preparation is concerned, there's no reason why you cannot pass the exams. These have certainly been based on my experience as a candidate and have worked for me, and things that I've learned and realized quite late, you know, so sharing these with you today. And May exams are coming up, so anyone who is attempting the May exams at whatever level it may be, I wish you guys all the best. You know, do put in the efforts. There's heaps of time remaining, well, not that much time remaining depending on where you're at with your studying journey, but yeah, just enjoy yourselves and look, I mean, just put in the best effort that you can. That's all you can do, and leave the rest to CFA as far as your performance is concerned. So all the very best, and yeah, happy to take any feedback or suggestions that you guys may have, and stay tuned for some more content.